How many people here voted when they were 18 to 20 years old? So did you know that they changed the voting age in 1971 to 21 years of age? They changed it to 18 because in 1971 they had the Vietnam War, and people thought, well, if they're able to go to war and fight for our people, then they should be able to vote. Well, how many people here believe we should change the voting age? No, that's a good number. Right? Now, how many people believe we should raise it? So, I am Jamie Gordon, and I'm 19 years old, and I personally do not think that people should be voting at 18. They are not mentally prepared, they're too immature, and they are uneducated, and they should not be voting on our laws. We should put into motion a new law and sign my petition. And sign the petition to to make a new law to raise the voting age to 21. Next one. To begin, let's address the problem of our voting age. 18-year-olds are too immature and too uneducated to vote. 18-year-olds don't understand the implications of voting and deciding laws. It doesn't affect them, so they don't care. Last election, I was too young to vote. I was 17. But I had many friends who were able to vote. But many of them, they didn't care or know what their opinions were on politics. One of my friends, Tawny, she told me that she said to me that I don't really care about the election. I'm just going to vote for Hillary because my father wants Trump to win. So, should we really have people who are voting in spite of other people? That's how mature they are? According to the University of Rochester Medical Center, the rational part of a teen's brain isn't fully developed until they are 25 or so. Now, as one person anonymously said on YouGov.com, at 16 you can marry, pay taxes, and leave home. If the government deems you old enough to become a parent and contribute to the treasury, then should you be deemed old enough to decide and make policies? But if you really think back to when you were a 16-year-old, would you want your 16-year-old self voting and deciding on laws? Do you think you were mature enough? Now, that we have talked about the problem, let's move on to how being 18 and voting affects society. The effects that happen because these 18-year-old kids are voting happen to be because they don't know the consequences that come along with voting. It doesn't directly affect them, so they don't care and don't put much thought into what they are voting on. Like Social Security, it doesn't affect 18-year-olds. Why should they care? They don't care if the money goes from the Social Security account into other supplies to pay the governor, who's already making millions of dollars. On the website, Vote at 16, it argues that ensuring that young people can vote at 16 years of age will generate interest and greater awareness of politics at an earlier age. While getting young people aware is a good thing, sending them out to vote while they are still learning could be detrimental due to their lack of knowledge. They don't understand the difference between the deficit and the national debt, you know? Now that you know what's wrong with our voting system, let's talk a solution. Next. The most obvious solution is to raise the voting age back up to 21 years of age. Raising the voters' age to 21 will give adults more time to live life and live in the real world and make their own decisions and understand how things really work instead of being in their parents' home, being told this is how it works, actually having to provide for themselves and understand, well, maybe this isn't a good idea. As Josh Gelner for the National Review put it, the drinking age is 21. Why can't someone buy liquor till he's 21? Because the lawmakers say at 18, you're not old enough to make mature decisions about issues. As weighty as alcohol. So why is it more important about drinking age than it is to vote? Why is it that you can be 18 to vote, but at 21, you have to wait till 21 to drink. However, as my best friend Tiffany put it, she is in support of the voting age being brought down to 16. She says, age does not define maturity. There are just as many uneducated 30-something years old as there are younger teens and adults. Why should the mature 18-year-olds suffer because of some bad eggs? Well, just because there are a few bad eggs when you're 30 or something, there are much more uneducated 18-year-olds about politics than there are 30-something-year-olds. When you're 18, you're just coming out of high school, just starting to learn about politics and what the real world is like. At least when you're 21, you have some experience of being an adult and making your own decisions. If you really want to see change in our country, we need to start taking action. If you believe that we need more educated and mature voters, come and sign my petition. Some might say that we can't make a difference with just a petition, but the 19th Amendment, the one that gave women the right to vote, started with just a couple people coming together and demanding change. Now, I hope that I have made an impact on at least some of you, because together we can make a difference. By increasing the voting age to 21, the problem of having immature, uneducated teens going out and and treating the voting system like a joke will stop. If you believe in raising the voter age, sign the petition to change our future for the better. Now, some might say that one person making a petition cannot spark change, but it only takes one match to start a fire. Thank you.